Hey everyone, Blugoblin here. Thank you for joining me for my comic book review for this week in December 2012. Trying to get back on a routine basis. Before I get started, I want to say a couple things. Number one, after this video, I'm planning on doing a special video presentation for my big 300th video. Hopefully I'll be able to get it done. If not, then oh well. But yeah, after this I still don't know if I'm gonna be back on a routine weekly basis with my comic book reviews, because still I've been really busy. And I realized after I did my giant size comeback review a few days ago, I realized that there was 4 books that I forgot about. I had in another pile and I completely forgot about them, so I'm going to cover them right here, right now. I'm not going to give any captions or scores for these books, but for the books that I got this week, I will. Alright, I'm going to catch up with, starting with All New X-Men number 2. Bendis and Imanen continue to do a really good job with this. This series, we're only 3 issues in, and this is issue 2. And so far, the series has been really strong. Very nicely done. I like this cover. It's generic, it's basic, but it's very sweetly done. I love it. It's Hank brings the original 5 X-Men to the present time, and they're just completely aghast by what they see, and they're learning so much so quickly. It kind of makes you wonder, how's this going to affect the past? You know, I'm getting that whole Doc Brown mentality. It's going to mess up the space-time continuum, or all kinds of shit. But Jean learns that she's dead. Scott learns that in the future he becomes an egotistical motherfucker who acts like Magneto. And Iceman learns that he turns into this. In a very funny way, too. And Hank, and then the rest of the team learn about Hank. This Hank learns about, they learn about him dying from another stage of mutation. But this was really strong, very well done, and it ends on a kind of moment. It's like the original 5 X-Men take the Blackbird, and we don't know what they're doing at first, but we get a good idea that they're going to go after present day Scott Summers. And Logan's watching the Blackbird take off, and he goes, "It was her. It was really her, Jeannie." And you just gotta feel for Logan in that at that moment, because it's the woman he loved. He loved Jean so much, and to see her again, it must really hit him right there. Even though at first when he sees the original Scott Summers, he's still pissed off and berserker and everything like that. But once he realizes that, Jean is back, it really hits him. And it's very nicely done. Bendis did a nice job writing that book. Really nice job. Alright, moving along. Red Lanterns number 14. I can't believe I left this out. This was the first book I read. This was the first book I read when I got it last week. When I got it out of the stack last week. And my girlfriend has been following this series, and she was just like, "Read this." She was like, "Read this. You'll like it. You'll like it." And baby, you're right. I did like it. The Red Lanterns want, as we already know, they've found a way to kill these members of the Third Army, take out their eyes. But they want to know more about them. They want to know why they're here. What's their purpose? But to me, what really got me is that Dexter, the Red Lantern cat, is starting to form words. and he's on a quest for revenge and all that stuff. And he learns that Bleez and Rancor, the Red Lantern from Earth, are going back to Earth, and Dexter's like, Earth? Midnighter? Revenge! He knows what revenge means, and that's great. I love Dexter. He's badass. The most badass cat in the galaxy. I love that shit. But the issue overall ends on a cliffhanger that it's kind of weird. I don't know if it's a flashback or hallucination or what. I don't know. But it definitely piqued my interest. And, you know, and I'll say it again. So far in this whole Rise of the Third Army stuff, the Red Lanterns is doing the best job of making this Third Army seem like a legitimate threat. And it's very, very nicely done. And I find it also very, very awesome that the Red Lanterns are the first Lantern Corps that figures out how to take these bastards out. It's very fitting and it's very awesome. I think Red Lanterns could very well be a very underrated series, and I think you should get on board with it. Moving along, we got an independent from Broadsword Comics, Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, 77. Oh, man. Jim Ballant, I love you, man. I love your artwork. But this had nothing to do with Tarot. This was basically Raven Hex. I love Raven Hex. I love this bitch. Love her. And she's going against, I guess it's called a satyr, a goat man, in the fairy realm. And what this basically is a long fight, a magical duel between this goat man and Raven Hex. And Raven is completely cocky. She is very cocky. And she's like, go along, goat man, before I spank you, or some shit like that. And did I mention that Raven Hex just only wore a hoodie? That's it. Yeah, she fights naked. But man, she really gave this goat man a run for his money with this whole magical duel and everything. But the goat man is also got a little bit of arrogance to him. He's like, this is the fairy realm where my magic's gonna be more powerful than yours and all that shit. And it's very, very well done. And it ends the fight. I'll go ahead and spoil this. Raven Hex wins the fight, but it ends on a laugh. It was so funny, but it fit Raven's character, and it was very, very well done. I was very impressed with this. This was one of the best issues of Tarot I've read in a while, and I'm not going to lie. The story involving the three little kittens with the whole Barack Obama in a pseudo Iron Man costume, that story was shit. But this was really good. This was one of the better issues of Tarot I've read in a while, and I gotta give my props to Jim Ballant. Alright, we're gonna end this catch-up with Uncanny Avengers #2. Once again, I can't believe I've left this one out. That is a badass cover. That cover alone made me want it. Rick Remender, John Cassidy. Oh, Jesus. Just when you think you know where the storyline is going, you get more twists and more turns. Apparently now that the Red Skull has gotten Charles Xavier's brain, yeah, that was the big what the fuck moment that ended the first issue. The Red Skull has the brain of Charles Xavier. Apparently, since now he has Xavier's brain, he now has Xavier's powers. Okay, he's got Xavier's powers, and we had a real big tease of him turning the Scarlet Witch evil. But thankfully it didn't go through, and I'm sorry I'm ruining this, but you know, this isn't exactly a new issue, so I'm pretty sure everybody already knows what went down. But it was a nice tease, nicely done by Rick Remender. John Cassidy's artwork is just awesome as always. But I was really starting to second guess myself. Is this a tease, or are they actually going with this, turning Scarlet Witch evil? And Rogue gets through to her, but in a very heartbreaking way. And my jaw dropped. Even my jaw dropped as well. And it was very, very nicely done. This, and it ends on a dun 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 kind of cliffhanger. You know, it is just awesome. This has been phenomenal work, and we're only 2 issues in. Love this shit. Get on. It's not too late. Jump on board with Uncanny Avengers. It's not too late. Alright, we're done with the catch-up. Now, it's time to get on to the books from this week. We're going to start with DC and end with Marvel. Starting with DC, we got Detective Comics number 14. It says it's a tie-in to Death of the Family. However, oh, wait a minute. Almost forgot. We got another one of them Joker covers with Batman. I'm the Joker. I'm Batman. It says it's a tie-in to Death of the Family, but I only get that impression because we see the Joker in a panel. On a page. And damn it, I can't get this bag back in the board. Here we go. I apologize. This shit ain't rehearsed. But yeah, we only get that's the only explanation that this is a tie-in to Death of the Family. We see the Joker on one panel. And it's a nice picture of Joker, but that's pretty much all we get. This is the conclusion or the continuation of the story involving Poison Ivy. And I spoke to Finger fucking Female Fury about this. Now, actually, she posted a blog about it. I spoke to her about All New X-Men. But she said in her blog, and I agree with her, it ends on a bit of a tease as to what could possibly be happening to Poison Ivy. Because we get an explanation as to how Ivy was able to control Clayface. Clayface has been manipulated. He thinks that him and Ivy are a married couple. They've been married for a while, but it turns out it's all up here. And it's and the explanation wasn't hokey. I mean, the explanation as to how she was able to use her powers to manipulate him, it was pretty damn clever, actually. And we also get a logical explanation as to how Ivy was able to survive being buried alive by the Penguin. But apparently something's happening with Oswald Cobblepot, and we're getting another leader of his empire who wants to call himself Emperor Penguin. I don't know if I buy that right now. I mean, because we've only seen him. We're just now seeing this new character of Emperor Penguin taking off, and so far I'm not completely buying it, but who knows? It might do well in the future. But it's another one of those two story splits here. In the second story, which is basically an epilogue to this story, we get to see how it was done between Ivy and Clayface, but then we also get to see what happens after Batman snaps Clayface out of it, and it doesn't look good for Ivy. And that kind of pisses me off because, everybody who knows me personally knows that Poison Ivy is my favorite villainess. Bar none. She's my absolute favorite, and I guess they're kind of teasing that either Clayface is going to fuck her up or just flat out kill her. And I don't like being teased like that. Ivy's my favorite. Don't do anything to my Ivy, DC. But story-wise, yeah, it was good. It was really good. Despite all the nitpicks I had with it, it was still a solid issue Detective Comics. I wouldn't really call it a tie-in to Death of the Family. It just has to have this kind of cover to be considered that. But really all it is a follow-up to the Poison Ivy story. But it was good, nonetheless. I don't know if this is good news or bad news, but yeah, you see this. He's back, everybody. It's all yours. Look who's back, bitches. I'm back. The true Blue Goblin. Well, at least that's what I believe. Maybe I am, maybe I ain't. Who gives a shit? You see, the MFer who runs this channel, he let me take some time off, let me have a vacation. So because I was so frustrated that he wouldn't let me review more books than just this. So I wanted some time off, so he gave it to me. But now I'm back, and I'm dressed for the occasion. Merry fucking Christmas. There, I said it. I'm taking that shit off. Alright. Mess up my good hair. Alright, I'm here today. Y'all know why I'm here. It's for Earth 2, Issue 7, Flight to the Death. What a cheesy ass title. Now, James Robinson, you're good with this. You're really good. But man, this was storyline wise, storytelling wise, it was alright. It was good. I enjoyed it. Was it the most action-packed issue of the series? Hell no. But it was very good from a storytelling perspective. So, yeah. Nicola Scott doesn't do the artwork here. And that kinda hurts. But I'm alright with it. I'm alright with it, you see? But we got Vilderay Sinar doing artwork in here, and it's good. For the most part, it's good. We got Alan Scott in Hawk Girl, Hawk Woman, whatever the fuck she is. She meets him at his apartment, his house, whatever it is, I don't know. And he ain't taking his boyfriend's death very well. It's like it just seemed like it finally sunk in. It finally sunk in, and he just all uber pissed off, depressed, all kinds of shit. And you know, I feel for the guy. You know, he lost his lover. You know, he's got to take that frustration out somehow, even if it means breaking shit. But Hawk Girl comes up to him, and she just flat out says she knows who he is. And he's like, how do you know who I am? And she's like, duh, I'm not stupid. It's like even I knew this scenario was coming. It's like he was supposed to be on the train that crashed that ended up in the death of his boyfriend, but he just happened to not be there. That was the only explanation that was given, so you should just put two and two together. She ain't no dumb shit. But, yeah, I gotta admit, this was some good shit. But the rest of the story involving this government agency, this secret world army negotiation shit, that shit was dark. I mean, that shit was, ooh. And we get to see a surprise appearance from another motherfucker that I have been waiting to see. Yeah, been waiting to see this guy show up. Who was it? I ain't telling you a goddamn thing. Ha 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 ha. So sit down and shut up. Quit asking me who it was. Ha.
Hey. There ain't no need for that.
Alright. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be an asshole. I'm sorry. Okay. But overall, this was a good issue. Was it the greatest? Hell no. It didn't have enough action for me. But I gotta give James Robinson credit. The shit was good for a storytelling perspective. Very, very good. And I gotta admit, I thought, you know, when you come across a book that just does nothing but a bunch of talking, sometimes it can be boring. But Robinson pulled it off, in my opinion. So there you go. My review of Earth 2 number 7. Merry fucking Christmas.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for his behavior. I thought we talked about that. I don't appreciate him telling y'all to sit down and shut up like that.
Aw, come on, man. They knew I was just fucking with him.
Even so, I'm cutting him off right here, right now, so he can't interfere anymore. But if he's gonna go back to that style of behavior, then I might have to fire him. But only time will tell. But there you go. We're ending DC with World's Finest number 7. Huntress and Power Girl's adventure with Robin continues.
I didn't really know what to think about this. I've been loyal to the series so far, and I still love George Perez's artwork. But Levitz has a interesting story tell here. So apparently now Helena and Damian have accepted the fact that they are technically brother and sister. Technically, yeah. I guess they've accepted that fact. But Helena did establish that she does indeed trust Damian. She trusts him. I don't know if that's a mistake or not, but yeah, well, no, I don't think it's a mistake. But some pretty interesting shit in here. There's pretty weird shit in here too, especially with Power Girl dealing with a bunch of Frenchmen with really apocalyptic firepower. And thank God they didn't go with the running gag again. The World's Finest has had this running gag here lately that in each issue Power Girl mysteriously comes across a dilemma where she loses her clothes and she's naked in a portion of the book. Thankfully they didn't do that running gag in this issue. I mean, running gags, no matter what it is, I don't care what it is, if a running gag gets run, if it gets run too many times, it can start to get old. And thankfully they didn't do it in this issue. But they're starting to get more clues together as to, you know, Apocalypse and, you know, a dark side and everything, and it's all well and good. But this issue, in my opinion, wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be. It might have, some of y'all might have liked this better than I did. I just think it was a good read, but was it great? To me, not that much, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. Alright, we're going to Marvel now. No pun intended. All new X-Men number 3. This was what I was talking to Fury about on Tumblr the other night. I didn't know what to think about that cover until I started reading the book. And this is a nice twist. This was really good. This was a nice twist involving Scott's powers and Magneto's powers and Emma's powers. This issue explains how Scott and Eric free Emma Frost, and I love this twist. I love this twist. Emma is not interested in being with Scott in a relationship anymore. She'll be with them to help find new mutants, but as far as her and Scott being a couple is concerned, they're done. And I like that, because let's face it, Emma Frost is not my best friend. She's not my favorite character. Y'all know that. But I gotta give her credit where credit is due. She was treated like shit. But the explanation as to why their powers are going so wonky, it made sense. I'm not going to give that part away, but it did make sense. But another thing that irks me about Scott is that he is still acting like a fucking dickhead. Him and Magneto come across an old facility that longtime X-Men fans are well familiar with, and they decided to make this their new Xavier School. Yeah, that's very fitting, Scott. Take a facility that's beaten up, run down, and is definitely a fixer-upper, and christen it as a school and name it after a man that you killed. Very fitting. But one of my personal favorite moments was when Magneto was talking to him about when Scott killed Charles. He says, "You can blame it on the Phoenix if you want to, but deep down, Scott, I know you wanted to do it." I'm like, ooh, that was a low blow from Magneto, and it was very, very well done. I mean, Magneto in this issue acted like Magneto for the most part, and it was good. And it ends on a whoa kind of cliffhanger too. Nice. I don't want to ruin too much of this. This was nice. I mean, without a doubt, probably the strongest
This was the strongest issue out of the 3 we've got so far, in my opinion. It was very, very well done. Scott's in deep shit. Moving along. The Amazing Spider-Man number 699. We're getting close. So close. Oh my god. I wanted to get on video and talk about this shit in 698. When I saw that moment between Peter and Doc Ock in issue 698, my jaw dropped. I was like, what the fuck? Really? And then we get a continuation of it from this. Now, 698 was the perspective of Peter, and in here we get the perspective of Otto. Long story short, Peter and Otto switched places up here. They each have each other's memories. And Peter's proven again that he's not stupid. He is indeed one of the most clever people in the Marvel Universe. And he's decided, he's like, okay, Otto's gotten my memories, so that must mean I've got his. Very smart. So, you know, while Otto in Peter's body says, I'm not going to tell you how I did it, Peter's thinking quick. Thinking, okay, I'm going to use Otto's memories to find out how he did it. Very smart. I like that. So, Peter, as Dr. Octopus, decides to, he has no choice, he has to do it this way, arrange a breakout with some former villains. He says, we need to find Spider-Man, and I want him alive. So, oh man, I am really anxious to see how this story concludes, because Dan Slott has proven with these past 2 issues, 698 and 699, that this particular story can be unpredictable, and that's so refreshing. This has been a phenomenal story. Unquestionably one of the best stories I've seen from Dan Slott. And you know, there's a lot of people who have been hating on this direction, but it's something different. It's something we haven't seen before, and I'm like, ooh, this could get ugly on issue 700. I'm anxious to get that book and find out what the fuck's going on. Awesome. But as good as that book was, this was my pick of the week. XFactor 248. Hell, that damn cover alone just reeks of awesome. Peter David, god damn. You still, I don't know how you do it, but you keep killing it in each issue. Pip the Troll got shot in the head, and he the opening scene involving Pip trying to escape from death was one of the funniest damn things I've ever seen in XFactor. He sees 2 certain individuals who are coming after him, and they're like, and Pip's like, you're not really them. I'm not ruining who it is. He's like, you're not him. And this individual who's chasing Pip, he's like, okay, prove it. And he's like, pow! Kicks him square in the nuts. And he's like, okay, I'm convinced. This was one of the most comedic storylines for XFactor, because I was laughing my ass off. This was great. But it did have its serious moments in there. The artwork was great for the most part, and I said on Tumblr, is it just me, or does Richter sorta kinda look like Michael Jackson in a couple of panels? But that was just me. We get more of the developing story of how XFactor will fall and all that shit, and it was really nicely done. Really nicely done. I swear, Peter David is just killing this on each and every issue, and it does involve it does involve the hellfire and hellish demons stuff, and I know I'd criticize Cullen Bunn doing it with Venom, but for XFactor, Peter David can do it. He can do it, and it ends on a very nice cliffhanger, and I am still just absolutely loving this series. I can't say anything else about it that I haven't already said before. Just phenomenal stuff. Well, that's all I got for this review, everybody. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you for subscribing if you haven't done it already. Please check out all my other stuff, my Blugoblin X channel, my Twitter page, my Tumblr page. Follow me around, just don't stalk me. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.